Hi, this is Dan Bullard, retired electronics engineer, sitting on the front deck of my house. But again, I took this old video and I wanted to walk you through it. I made this video back before I started doing this stuff on the front deck. It's really important for you to understand that it's not obvious to anybody how this stuff works, because it takes skill in doing stuff in Excel. And like I mentioned, I've been doing Excel for like 30, 40 years. But you have to really know what you're doing with DSP and FFTs and everything like that. So if you don't get it, here's why. Let me walk you through it, okay? So here's one of my waveforms that I distorted 19 cycles, and then here it is with reduced to a single cycle. I do the FFT on it, and the FFT looks pretty ugly. And then I go in and unfold the first order aliases, and I color code the odd and even harmonics red and blue, as you know. I distort another waveform this way in a similar way. I reduce it down to a single cycle, and then I do an FFT on it. Then I unfold the first order aliases and color code it. Next I do a symmetrical zero crossing distortion, 19 cycles, reduce it to a single cycle. Then I do the FFT on it, and then I color code it after I have unfolded the first order aliases. And you can see very clearly that it looks different than it did with the previous distortion. Next I do an asymmetrical zero crossing distortion. I reduce it to a single cycle. I then do the FFT on it, and then I unfold the first order aliases and color code it. And here's where it gets really interesting. Notice how the even harmonics, the red ones, start off very high. The blue harmonics, the odd harmonics, start off relatively low and then ramp up. It's very different from how it was when it clipped off the top of the wave. The spectrum looks very different. Now let's compare a symmetrical distortion versus an asymmetrical distortion. So here's a symmetrical peak clipping. I do the FFT, then I deal with the aliases and color code it. There's no even harmonics here. Now I do an asymmetrical negative peak clipping, one cycle. I do the FFT, and now you'll be able to see the even harmonics in red. There were no even harmonics when I did a symmetrical clipping, but with the asymmetrical clipping, there's a bunch of even harmonics. So once again, from the river, this is Dan Bullard.